Columbus Control Center, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is call CC. How do you hear me?
Oberpfaffenhofen, hier ist die Raumstation. Ich verstehe Sie laut und deutlich.
Oberpfaffenhofen, here's the
Die erste Frage
ISS. I hear you loud and clear. Here's the first question. Hello, Herr Gerst. Just before the end of your mission, do you think that all this effort has been worth it?
Ja, hallo Frau Wert.
Yes,
Definitiv hat sich
Frau
die
Wert.
Schneiderei gelohnt.
The effort has definitely been worth it. There were a few days when we worked from all day long. We had
Und das hat sich wirklich gelohnt.
82 weeks of work, hours of work, and we've had all kinds of experiments. The vast majority were positive, and this was surprising to me because as a scientist, I know experiments don't always turn out the way you want them to. And I covered biology, physiological, human physics, and all of that was included. And I look forward to seeing all the data when I return to Earth because of the impact that it will have on all the humans on Earth.
Herr Gerst, Alexander Gerst, Journalist. Bitte nicht falsch verstehen, aber auf dem Bild
Please don't misunderstand me.
ein bisschen, sagen wir mal, kräftig aus.
You look a little bit, let's see, chunky in your pictures. How has your physiology changed? It's a normal physiological reaction when because all the fluids in your body redistribute in microgravity, and that's why you have a little bit of a rounder face. I've kept track of my weight, and it's remained absolutely the same. And I do 2.5 hours of exercise a day, and I noticed that my thighs have grown, and other groups of muscles have increased from riding my bike, and others have gotten smaller, and I'm sure I'll be able to see all of that when I get back to Earth. But the effect hasn't been as great as I had anticipated, really. You have 10 days left, we just heard. Do you have plans for your return? You have some vacation ahead of you. Do you have any plans? We haven't had a free weekend for a long time, and we've had a full program. And all the EVAs and all the vehicles that arrived, and for SpaceX, we had to load them up within 30 days with all the data, and so I'm looking forward to my last free weekend in the space station. I still have to exercise, but I'll have the time to say goodbye to the ISS. I think I'll spend some time listening to music in the cupola and just listen to music and look outside and just absorb the last few moments of microgravity. I'll maybe film a few things and so as to absorb memories, and that's my plan for these last few free days. So we'll have to see.
Britta Schulte von der DPA. Hallo. Was haben Sie denn da oben in der Zeit am meisten vermisst? Und
what did you miss most during your time up there, and what do you look forward to most on your return? What you miss up here changes from day to day. I think it's a question of what you're confronted with. When I watch a movie on my computer and I see someone eating a pizza or a burger, and then I have a sudden tremendous yen. And of course I miss my friends, my family, my partner, I just miss the people that I miss up here, and I look forward to seeing them. And I have some memories of that when I was in the Antarctica. When I was there, I had this nature that I miss. And I just have a tremendous desire to go jogging through the forest and smell the smells of the forest, and I miss nature, and it reminds me of what a beautiful planet we have, and I look forward to returning to it. Because I will also be sad to leave here, and the camaraderie up here in the ISS.
Carsten Lüb von NTV. Hallo Herr Gerst. Meine Frage ist, wie gehen Sie eigentlich damit um? Sie sind noch relativ jung, dass Sie aller Voraussicht nach das Highlight Ihrer beruflichen Karriere bereits hinter sich haben.
How do you handle this, considering you're quite young, that this is probably the highlight of your career? I've been told that several times already. And I've been told that before, and I've traveled to volcanoes, and then when you return home, you think, well, perhaps this was it. I'll never go back to a place like this. But what this has taught me, that life always has something else ready for you, and it doesn't always have to be as spectacular as this, traveling to space. It could be all kinds of things on Earth. And I'm going through life with open eyes, and I don't think it's going to be boring from here on. And who knows, maybe I'll return to space one day. I'm going to stay in the astronaut corps. And I look forward to the future, no matter what it has in store for me.
Anja Tröster, Stuttgarter Zeitung. Hallo, Herr Gerst. Wenn Sie noch mal die Chance haben, ins All zu fliegen,
if you have another opportunity to travel in space, would you like to go to the Chinese space station? It's a great question. I'm sure it's a fantastic space station, and I would certainly have no objection to going there. But that's not up to me. I can't choose for myself where I go. I'm going to be flying on the auspices of ESA. And I'm going to be traveling for the European Space Agency, and that's what it's all about, that we expand our space travels. We have to make decisions now, and we have to decide where manned space travel will go. And that's, as a highly technological country, Germany has a lot at stake in space travel, and we don't want to fall behind. It's a good discussion to have, and I'm very curious to see how things will go from here on.
Hallo Alex, hier ist der Ulrich. Ich bin auch hier. Und,
Hi, this is Ulrich. I'm here as well. How is it up there?
Ja, hallo Ulrich.
Hello, Ulrich. I don't need to answer your question because I know, because I know you know it. You know what it's like to live in microgravity. It's amazing how a human being can get used to it. Everything becomes normal after a while. And I had the experience that I even forgot that I was in space. You have to remind yourself by letting something float. Yes, it's really not that normal.
Und ja, ich sehe daraus, dass wir Menschen so anpassungsfähig sind, dass wir
It shows me that people are quite adaptable, and I don't see a problem in, there's no problem in staying in space a little bit longer.
Ich bin ja inzwischen gerade durch den Aufenthalt hier oben, wo wir viel gelernt haben,
my stay up here, which has shown me how we are adaptable. I'm sure that we humans are not far from spending a lot more time in space.
Sozialistischer Medienhaus Mafra, Tschechische Republik. Sie haben mal gesagt, Sie glauben,
Once you said,
auf die Erde als ein anderer Mensch zurückkehren. Können Sie das bestätigen? Und würden Sie
you said that you would return as a different person. Can you confirm that? And are you going to accept invitations to different discussions?
Nee, ich glaube nicht, dass ich als anderer Mensch
I don't think I'll
zurückkehre.
return a different person.
Das hatte ich vermutlich auch nie so
I don't
gedacht.
think I
Was ich wusste
quite
und was
thought
sich bestätigt hat, ist,
that
dass
way.
meine Perspektive sich geändert hat. Ich habe
My
was
perspective
gesehen,
is what has changed.
was ich vorher nie mit eigenen
I
Augen so
saw
gesehen habe. Ich
something
denke,
that I had never seen before with my own
generell,
eyes.
meine Persönlichkeit gleich geblieben.
I
Das
think
liegt
my
vielleicht
personality
natürlich nicht an mir, das zu beurteilen,
has
sondern
not
müsste vielleicht
changed. Of
meine
course, it's not
Umgebung fragen,
up to
wenn
me
ich
to
zurückkomme. Aber
determine that,
ich
and I'll have to
denke,
find that out when
was
I
sich wirklich
return.
geändert hat, ist die Perspektive.
But what has changed is my
unsere Erde
perspective,
von außen zu sehen. Das ist wirklich
to
was,
see our
das
planet
mir
from the outside
so ein bisschen neuen Horizont
has given me a
aufgeschlossen hat.
different
Und,
horizon.
Den habe ich versucht, so gut es geht, einzufangen mit
And I've
Bildern,
tried to capture
Videos,
that as
mit meiner
well as I
persönlichen
could
Beschreibung als
with
aus menschlicher
pictures
Sicht.
and with my
Und
own
das möchte ich gerne
personal
zurückbringen
descriptions
auf die
from a
Erde
human
und das mit
perspective.
anderen Menschen teilen. Aber
And I
ich
look
denke
forward
nicht,
to
dass
sharing that with
mich
other
das
people.
jetzt so komplett von der Erde entrückt hat.
I don't think
Denn,
it's
ja, letztendlich
removed
darf
me
man es nicht vergessen,
so
der Weltraum ist
completely from
eigentlich,
Earth.
ja,
Let's
nimmt
not
den größten
forget,
Platz ein im Universum. Die Erde, die wir kennen, das ist ein ganz
space is
besonderer Ort und wir
the
nehmen ihn für
greatest
garantiert,
place
für gegeben
that we
hin,
know
für
of.
unzerstörbar. Aber in Wirklichkeit
We
besteht das
consider the
Universum
Earth
aus
indestructible.
99,999 und jetzt kommen wahrscheinlich 10 Millionen Neunen aus schwarzem Nichts, ein paar Sternen und ja,
and
ganz
now
wenigen Planeten. Und
there are all
wir
these
leben
planets
auf
out there,
einem
and it's
davon. Und das ist eben
99.9
eine Perspektive, die
that we
wir
know,
vielleicht alle
and we have to
realisieren sollten, dass unser
keep
Heimatort so speziell ist und auch so
we have to keep in mind that our home is very special and is very fragile,
Gedanken drüber machen sollten,
and we
wie
should
wir
give
ihn
that more
schützen können.
thought as to how we could protect it.
Ja, grüß Gott, Timo Michielsen von München TV. Herr Gerst, Sie haben jetzt eine völlig neue Sichtweise auf die Erde.
You have a completely new perspective of Earth. Do you really even want to return here to us?
Ja, auf alle Fälle.
Yes,
Das
yes,
ist bei mir so eine
of
Sache.
course.
Ich kann, egal wie lang, irgendwo hinfahren.
I can. That's the thing about me. I can travel somewhere for 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks, or in this case, 6 months. But it's always fun to go home. I never had the urge to go somewhere forever. But it's stepping outside your home and looking at your home and comparing it, the outside, with your home. And that's what changes you, and you come back knowing more. And I come back now knowing more than I did before. And that's a wonderful thing to recognize. And that's what I want to share with other people.
Maximilian Heim vom Münchner Merkur. Herr Gerst, Sie haben gerade gesagt, dass die Erde ein besonderer Ort für Sie ist.
You just said that Earth was a special place.
Im Weltall.
But would you address the subject of loneliness in space? Perhaps I'm the wrong person to ask. I've never been lonely in space. We have a crew. I have a crew of 5 other people. A couple of weeks with just 2 other people, but we're more like a family up here. And I really realized that up here. And I've come to realize how wonderful, it's fabulous how fabulous it is to have this crew up here. Our crew has never uttered an angry word. We've just always. It's really incredible how incredibly well it all went up here. It's amazing that these 2 people. It's amazing. Of course, my partner with whom I spend a lot of time on the phone knows me well, but these other 2 people up here know me better than anybody else. If you want to be alone, you have to actively seek it. I can go in a module and to be by yourself, and we do that, but that's a normal human behavior. And also, when you look outside and you see the Earth beneath you, you don't really feel that far away. You see Europe. You recognize the contours. I never felt very far away from my home.
Houston on 2, the crew medical restraint system checkout photos are on SSC number 8.
Sie haben vor kurzem getwittert, dass das Oktoberfest für Sie leider dieses Jahr ausfallen wird.
You tweeted the other day that you that Oktoberfest was not going to happen for you this year. So what? Of course, we only have tea up here. Of course, we don't have Oktoberfest up here in the ISS. I look forward to that when I return and I look forward to being my friends and grill something. And there's some things that some things that are different. Yeah, it feels like a camping trip up here. You with your friends.
Hallo, hier ist Christina Schönstädter von der Passauer Neuen Presse. Hallo, Herr Gerst. Sie haben sicher davon gehört von der Explosion der Versorgerrakete.
I'm sure you heard of the explosion of the orbital Cygnus 3.
Denken Sie dann, oh Gott, sowas könnte mir auch passieren?
When you look at something like that, you think, oh my goodness, that something like that could happen to me too. Well,
mit solchen Situationen sind wir jetzt nicht plötzlich konfrontiert worden.
We're not suddenly confronted with these situations up here. These situations are part of our training. If you reach the frontiers of new technology, you have to reckon with something like that. It was not a complete surprise for us. Of course, it was a great shame for all the work that was lost. But nobody was hurt. But the program plans for events like that.
Dennoch ist es so, dass das natürlich mit Raketen passieren kann. Und
this is something that can happen with rockets. And we were aware of that before our own start or before our own launch. Yeah, we have a safety, an emergency rocket, and we train for events like that. The greatest part of our training is emergency training, and so that we know what to do in the case of an emergency. See how we could perhaps survive something like that. And for emergencies, we always have a plan B and a plan C. It's a risk that we're prepared to take.
Nadine Heber von den Bayerischen Lokalradios. Hallo, Herr Gerst. Vor einigen Tagen ist jetzt an der Weltraumstation Weltraumschrott vorbeigeflogen.
You had some space debris go past the ISS the other day. Did you notice that, or is this? You're talking about debris avoidance maneuver, but the ISS basically took care of it by itself. We were informed by mission control, but the chances were so great. But with the help of ATF, the ISS maneuvered itself into a different orbit by turning on different engines and maneuvering out of the way. It was never really a terribly dangerous or special situation for us. I almost was completely unaware of it because it was taken care of automatically.
Nochmal Hildegard Wert vom ZDF. Haben Sie einen Tipp für Samantha Cristoforetti, die ja bald auch zur ISS fliegt?
Do you have any advice for Samantha? I already gave her one piece of advice. Of course, she's in the position where I was 2 years ago, half a year ago. And you're training, and it's almost like studying in school for the Abitur. And I told her, I know you're ready. And I was in the same situation, and I thought I had to refresh everything in my memory. But in the end, I realized we are completely prepared, and our training is very good, and it's quite sufficient to get us ready. And I told her to take a weekend off with her family and enjoy herself. And she did that, and we talk on the phone sometimes, and she's really looking forward to life up here. And I've installed some things for here in the Columbus laboratory. And we have about 40 experiments that will that Samantha will continue up there. Of course, I'm a little bit jealous because she'll get to do experiments that I didn't do, but I'm very proud of the electromagnetic levitator. And we had a bolt that got stuck, and we were able to solve the problem with the help of mission control. We sawed off the bolt. And it was a really fantastic situation to troubleshoot like that up here. And I'm sure Samantha will have a great time up here as well.
This concludes the event.
Thank you, Isa. Station.
Ja, vielen Dank, Köln.
Thank you, Cologne. All the best here. And we'll see each other soon on Earth. Greetings from the ISS.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes our event.